kicked off. Jack Mallers has teased a big announcement. We've got we're going to give you all the updates you need to know about Bitcoin and the conference right here from Las Vegas. We're also going to talk some altcoins. Virtual's protocol has been exploding since reaching a low of 50 cents. So those of you that have been watching our channel for the last 6 months, you took the opportunity to buy Virtual's protocol at 50 cents. Congrats, you're now sitting at a 5x. There's a lot of more room to run. Kind of give my breakdown of where I think Virtual is going, not only the token, but the ecosystem as well. Big news coming out of the Trump family. We shared news yesterday that they were rumored to try to raise $3 billion. Well, guess what? It's happening. It's happened. We're going to give you all the details you need to know. What can we expect from the conference tomorrow as JD Vance is speaking? And there's just a lot to cover. SWE is about to get an ETF. That got filed on the NASDAQ. Big IPO from the second largest stablecoin in the entire world. There's so much to cover. With that being said, don't waste any time. Let's get started.
Hola! It's your boy Big Rob back in the house. Welcome to SINCITY Crypto, home of the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency content where we take old, boring, stale information, repackage it all up in a fun, sexy way. And it's here, the Bitcoin conference. And also, what else is here? All-time highs. We're right around the corner, right there at 110. Will we see $115,000 Bitcoin this conference? I say yes. What do you say, David?
I say, how was picture day today?
Picture day. What's wrong with picture day?
Ashley, help me out.
Your outfit looks like you're dressed for school picture day.
Thank you, Ashley. Hi, Ashley.
Hi. Hi.
Yeah, it's funny. We just have to really break things down at just a lower tier level for Rob to understand. Rob, we're just making fun of how you're dressed. You look good though, man.
It looks good.
You look young, glowing.
it's just-
You know, got the Armani, polo on. My boy got a nice watch on. Got the loafers. You look good, man. What was your question?
No idea.
Okay,
Good.
perfect. I'm just kidding. What really was your question though? You forgot.
115.
Oh, Bitcoin?
Yes.
Hell yeah,
We're at
brother.
the conference. There you go.
We talked about this yesterday. But usually Bitcoin dumps, right? Prior to or during the conference, prior to the conference, after the conference, whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, there is just so much bullish news going on. And with that being said, you guys, well, first things first, if you are not subscribed to the channel, make sure to do so. If you're here from another channel, because your favorite content creators, I'm using our studio, welcome. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And then also do us a favor and like the video. We do have a Q&A set up. So if you have any questions, make sure to drop it in there. We had a $10 super chat from Nathan, said some audio issues should be fixed now. And so thank you for that, Nathan. We appreciate it. With that being said, let's start with the conference. Day one, industry day. So if you're here and you have an industry pass, you should be going to the conference today. So you're going to meet a lot of people. You're some of your favorite KOLs. I will be there from noon to 2 to 3 o'clock local time. So right after the show, I'm going to hop over there. And I believe Rob and Ashley will be joining a little bit later as we shore things up here at studio. I believe Rocco's going there. Rocco, you're going there right after, correct? Around the same time I'm going?
Yeah, it's going to be there. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
I will leave
So
it
you
on.
can meet the entire SINCITY crew. And please, if you see us wandering around, come up to us, say hello, shake hands, and that's it. Okay. All right. Let's start with this. This is posted by the Bitcoin historian. I'm going to get rid of this. But this pretty much says Bitcoin Las Vegas passes 30,000 attendees and will officially be the largest conference in the history of Bitcoin conferences. We're talking, 12 plus years here, Rob, of, we kept trying to tell people nobody does it like Vegas does it. Everyone is always looking for an excuse to come to Vegas. Mm-hmm. And here we are. We're about to break records. We also have this as well. This is Jack Mallers yesterday teasing what he's going to be speaking on at the conference. Take a listen to what Jack Mallers had to say.
Flying from Chicago to Vegas. I got some things to announce. I'll see you guys on the main stage Thursday, 3:20 local time in Vegas. I've got 2 announcements for my 2 separate companies. I got an announcement for Strike I'll be talking about on stage, and I got an announcement for 21 that we'll be releasing this week as well. Big week for the orange coin. Let's go, Bitcoiners.
That is a massive walk-in closet. Look at that. Ashley,
It doesn't have a single thing hanging in there.
Ashley,
either.
What?
a lady's perspective, you know, walk-in closets are important.
Right.
If you're anything like my wife and
Very.
every other woman. What are your thoughts, Rocco? If we can pull that up and
Every other woman.
yeah, sorry, I don't mean to generalize you, but I'm going
But
to.
you know the story, right?
Massive walk-in.
I love
Thoughts
it.
on it being empty though?
You know the story about the empty closet, right?
What? No, what is it? You know the story?
Yeah, it says he sold everything to buy Bitcoin.
Oh.
Even when he goes in CNBC.
Okay, I'm sorry, but then where the hell does he hang the clothes he's got on now?
He has no clothes.
Well, he's got clothes on
See
now.
how he's dressed up.
You know
The
what?
clothes.
It's kind of sad that it's
Empty.
empty.
I mean, he's got the money to go shopping and fill it up. He chooses
Right.
not to, so very interesting. Okay.
Maybe some shoes, like one pair of shoes, maybe.
Yeah, something.
You know?
Robin's shoes are nice. Maybe Rob send him those. He can put it in his closet.
Help them out.
And then this again, tomorrow, the Bitcoin 2025 conference will attempt to set the Guinness World Record of most Bitcoin payments in one day. Good luck. This conference is going to be full of maximalists, the double maxis, triple maxis. What'd you call Rob, the tier above triple maxis? You gave him a really cool word. What was it? Do you remember?
Like quad something. I don't even remember.
Yeah, the quadriplegic maxis.
Quadriplegic max.
Not making fun of anyone who is suffering that, but seriously, you got to give disclaimers so people don't think you're being insensitive. Anyways, are they going to really be able to get the people who just crap on everything outside of Bitcoin and refuse to do anything with it? Are they really going to convince them to spend their Bitcoin to set a Guinness record? I don't know. What do you think?
No, I think people just do it just to say they did it. So nobody's actually spending their
Like a
Bitcoin.
dollar or something?
Yeah. Well, you know, you do save 10% by buying your ticket
With
or
Bitcoin?
like 5% by buying your ticket with Bitcoin.
That's
And
true.
so we've done that in the past.
And they have a merch shop at the, by the way, my favorite hoodie I've ever bought says Anti-Fiat Social Club, was from the Bitcoin conference in 2022. Still have it, although my kid spilled some red on it, and so it's got a little mark there. I still rock it though, baby. Anyways, let's keep moving on. So this year, Jack Dorsey just announced Square will now accept Bitcoin payments at all terminals.
It's pretty big.
This is massive. Okay.
Yeah, Square, I mean, you see that everywhere. I mean, most coffee shops, you know.
Small businesses
Small
galore,
businesses,
my friend.
yeah. We should have.
But Rob,
I know
again-
we were talking about doing a terminal service here for the podcast
Yeah.
studio rental.
Oh, we're definitely
maybe
accepting Bitcoin.
we'll do Square. I think that,
Yeah, and get some Bitcoin in there.
I mean, yeah.
And there was also a oh, look at that beautiful shot. So by the way,
That's our studio in the back.
That's our back studio. That's our the Hangover set. So yeah. By the way, if you're in town, you got to come visit our studio. It's amazing. But Rob, Square, it's a small business galore. Now they're going to have access. Not only that, Robin, but you know, some restaurants or businesses you go to, if you pay with a credit card or a debit card, there's a fee they charge you because the fee that they get charged from Visa, MasterCard, Discover,
Yeah.
Amex. Well, with Bitcoin, you don't have that anymore. So we're talking, I know it's not a big number. We're talking 3 to 5%. And you think people will use that as an option to save that 3 to 5%? I know as a business, we've paid a couple of invoices through with like a credit card, and we had to pay a 3%, and some of those invoices are in the thousands of dollars. So we're talking $300, $400, $500. And so either way, this is great. Square, I'm curious though, Rob, how many merchants does Square have?
Oh, let me just Google that in my head.
Well, or you have a computer in front of you, you can Google that. Moron. So yeah, but this is pretty massive. I think soon you'll see this across the board with all terminals. And this will become the norm. People will have the option of paying with not just Bitcoin, but I think stable coins is going to be a big one. You know, we recently did a business transaction, a fairly large one, and we sent a large amount of stable coins and literally in minutes for like $2 in minutes, versus we also did the same for a wire transfer and it's still pending. It's been 5 days. And so it's the future. It's coming. It's really here. And it'll be exciting to see where this thing goes. Okay, we have a couple video clips from the conference. Let's go ahead and share that. This is Cynthia Lummis talking about When will the strategic reserve bill be on the floor, Rob? Listen to this.
Bringing the Bitcoin Act to the attention of the American people and the world. President Trump supports the bill, and he has a team in the White House working on digital asset issues, everything from stablecoin to market structure to the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. And they will probably roll out in that order. The Senate Banking Committee has passed the stablecoin bill out of committee. We're getting close to being ready to have it on the floor. We've worked for untold hours with the minority party to satisfy them, and we should be voting on it the week we get back from this break. Then we'll do market structure, and then we'll do the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. And at that time, we'll be calling on you to help members of Congress in your states understand the importance. It's so important strategically to our country. Other countries are moving in the direction of establishing strategic Bitcoin reserves. The United States needs to lead in this area.
Amen to that. So what exciting news there. So it looks like the order of operations was the Genius Act, right, the stablecoin bill, then the comprehensive bill, and then the strategic reserve bill. Interesting, because I think that comprehensive bill is going to be the one that takes the most time and the most back and forth, because they're going to try to lump in DeFi and CeFi and really everything else that pertains to crypto. What's a security? What's not a security? What's decentralization mean? So on and so forth. And so the strategic reserve bill, technically, I mean, if the rate they usually go might not even come till next year, but we're speculating here. They could very well move fast. We don't know. But any thoughts on what Cynthia was talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty bullish when you think about altcoins. I know that we're at the Bitcoin conference. You know, a lot of the discussion is around Bitcoin. You got Michael Saylor and Strategy buying Bitcoin. You have the strategic reserve, or the Cynthia Lummis bill, where we're going to buy Bitcoin. But what's often overlooked is the other part of the U.S. policy when it comes to crypto, and it's altcoins. And so, you know what? If you are a big holder of altcoins, which I know most of our chat is, by the way, I'd like to get a little feedback from the chat. If you hold more altcoins than Bitcoin as far as dollar value, I'll put a 1 in the chat. If you're heavier in Bitcoin than you are your alts on your portfolio as far as dollar value, put a 2 in the chat. I want to know where you guys land.
What's your ratio, Rob? I think it's 85-15. They hold more alts than Bitcoin.
From our community?
Yeah. Not even our community, just from 99% of all community.
Yeah. Well,
I'm a 2.
More Bitcoin?
Yeah.
I mean, as well here. So, yeah, I kind of see where I want to know where you guys land. But here's the thing. If you've been waiting for this altcoin rally or pump, you don't need to look any further than the U.S. buying altcoins. We've got a tease before when Donald Trump said, hey, the U.S. will have a position on Ethereum, on Cardano, on Solana, XRP, and then he said more as well. I would expect to see Chainlink in the group, Stellar Lumens, Hedera, and there's a lot of other projects. I just kind of listed some off the top of my head, but there should be a lot of movement in the altcoin cycle, especially when you take into account that you're going to see new all-time highs here very shortly. I mean, we're knocking at the door. Just 5 days ago, we set a new all-time high at 111,000, almost 112. And yet again, we are here. Will we cross over the 112, get into the 115? I think so. I'm telling you. JD Vance is going to speak tomorrow. I think we're going to get some very bullish news.
The one thing I will say, Joe, if we do get a pump like we're kind of talking about and expecting, be careful if you're in any leveraged long positions, because there might be a potential washout or big sell-off after the fact. And so just be cautious. I'm 50-50 on if that's going to happen or not. But if you get into a long position, if you got into one at like 108.5 or 109, you see this thing rally to 114, 115. It's like the tail end of the conference. I would just keep your eye out, move up your stop loss, set your TP levels where you feel comfortable, take some profit off the table, because usually either it dumps during or it pumps during and then dumps after.
Yeah, and I know that historically, especially last year, people were expecting the price of Bitcoin to rally when Trump was going to speak. But there was a lot of buzz around that. There was a lot of excitement, a lot of the Bitcoin,
pump was the lead up to the conference.
The pump led up early, and then once he took stage, and it wasn't the buzzwords that people were expecting for him to say. I'm not exactly sure what the narrative was supposed to be out of the Trump's keynote speech, but I guess it fell a little flat for the traders' expectations, and so the price had pulled back. I don't think you're going to get that because there's not so much buzz with JD Vance. So I don't feel like you're getting that big run up for him to speak, but I think he could come in here, drop a bombshell, which in turn could pump the markets. So I think you're going to get an opposite effect of what we've seen historically with big speakers making announcements, and none other than, I mean, who else is bigger than the vice president? You could say the president, but outside of that, it's about as big as it gets, right? And he's taking the stage in about 24 hours.
Yeah, that's right.
Less than. So.
Yeah, about 22 hours.
Yeah.
My math is really good today.
Wow.
Usually it's choppy, but today's excellent.
Good job.
Thank you. I do want to share a video here. This is, I believe, the CEO of Steak and Shake. Let's take a listen to what he had to say about their plans with Bitcoin.
This implementation was a global implementation, not just in the United States, but also in our company-operated restaurants in France, Monaco, and Spain. Thank you very much. Our experience so far with Bitcoin has been that it is faster than credit cards. And when customers choose to pay in Bitcoin instead of credit cards, we are saving about 50% in our processing fees.
50% in their processing. That's a big number.
Yeah.
He's not.
We talk about it all the time. Like, eventually it's just going to become normal, and I don't think most people are going to realize they're using Bitcoin. I think that the banks are going to start processing.
Like, use your digital wallet.
Yeah, you're just gonna just like you pull out your Apple Pay, you double click the side button on your Apple Pay or whatever it is.
Coinbase, the Coinbase card, right? The blue Coinbase card. I don't know if you have one. I have one, and it's pretty easy. I can go into my Coinbase app. I can go to the card settings, and I can say, okay, I want to use Bitcoin for every time I tap the card. And then if that runs low, or I decide I want to save my Bitcoin, you know what? Start using Polygon. Start using USDC. Start using really anything else that's on the platform.
Where I'm getting at is I think that the institutions, particularly the banks, are going to start using, like as he's alluding to here, that they're going to start using crypto as a means of settlement payments, but the end user is not even going to realize it. I think that they're just going to, use whatever payment device is already on their phone, or in their wallet, and it's going to settle through crypto and then not even realize it. And so, in turn, companies are going to have to buy crypto to facilitate these transactions, which, going to cause a price shock. So,
Speaking of spending crypto, take a look at this. Thailand, excuse me, to let tourists spend crypto via Visa or via credit card, and plans major financial reforms to unify traditional and digital asset markets. My first thought was, are they going to let their own people do it, or just the tourists? Like, do they just want our, crypto, or are they willing to take their own people's crypto? It's interesting. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this? Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, but why are you going to spend your crypto through Visa? It's like the opposite of what we were just talking about.
No, I didn't say Visa. I said Visa. I didn't mean Visa. I meant via
credit card.
Via credit card.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So I know, like the Crypto.com credit card,
right?
Coinbase, all that stuff. So, anyways, and then I did have this, and then we'll jump into the rest of the markets. Posted by Vivek for real _ $8.5 billion with a B dollars worth of Bitcoin shorts will be liquidated at $115,000. Robin, that is a massive number. 115K. What was that? $8 billion. It's a big number, man. And so what does this mean?
So what it means is if you get to that point, these short positions are still there and they don't add margin, then you would expect it to blow past 115, get up to that 117, 118. That's what we've been talking about. Once you see this breakout, I think that it's gonna surprise a lot of people. I think that maybe in 2-3 weeks from now, we're looking at $128,000 Bitcoin, and we're like, wow. But at the same time, I do think you get a pullback. I think last week I said, hey, what we're gonna see is Bitcoin break all-time high, go up above 120, 128, pull back down to 119, perhaps 122 or something like that. And so that's what I'm expecting out of the big rally, and hopefully pops off tomorrow.
Yeah. With that being said, Rob, let's take a peek at the markets here. Thank you very much.
All right. So as mentioned, we got Bitcoin floating around the
Toilet bowl. Sorry.
the 110 mark. And so taking a look at altcoins, Virtual's protocol has been absolutely on fire. So this is one of our channel favorites. You know, we've been talking about this even before it was in the top 100. And so if you've followed our channel and you followed some of our calls, you know that this is one of our favorite projects. And if you've, listened to us at all, made some damn money. And now taking a look just on take a look on the 1 day. So just yesterday when we were covering from $2.10 above $2.50. And so that's about a 20% return in 24 hours. You take a look at the 7 day, you could have picked it up a couple days ago under $2, now sitting at $2.50. And then take a look at the 1 month. You could have got it a month ago at $1 and more than doubled your money.
2.5x.
And, you go back to the year, we were telling you about this back in October at 30 cents. And so, hey, is the pump over? No, it is not. I've told you guys before where I land on virtuals. I do think that you're going to get $3 and change virtuals, and I think it'll kind of pull back right at that $3 mark and then consolidate for a little while and then take off. So if you want to hop on virtuals, where do you think virtuals is going to land in the next, say, 90 days? Do you think that it's going to kind of...
I think it'll retest the $5 all-time high.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. It's that I'm telling you, and what do people like Forrest and myself say all the time, right? We point to their team, and their team is like, they're top notch, man. They consistently find ways to not only provide value for the virtual token, the ecosystem, but for the people. Look at what they did with the Genesis launch, the staking of the agents. So they're not, it's like those phone plans, right? They offer all the good deals to new customers. Well, what about me? I've been with you for 5 years. They looked at it and said, you know what? Genesis is great for new launches, but how do we benefit the OG projects, the devs that launched with us when we first started 6 months ago? How do we reward them? They figured that out too. Hey, snipers are an issue. They figured that out too. Hey, rug pulls. They figured that out too. And this is what they do, man. They figure shit out. And so I feel very comfortable. And those of you that are part of our Patreon know exactly where my virtuals bag lands in my portfolio value. And I'll give you a hint, it's in the top 5. And so I feel very confident, right? There's few altcoins I feel very, very confident holding, and virtuals is one of them. And so I think this thing tests $5 within the next 60 to 90 days. I do agree with Rob. We do see another pullback as people take profits. And then I think like retail's not even here yet, right? They're not even here. And so if they even dip a toe in the water, they're going to know about virtuals and what's going on in that ecosystem. And I think $12 to $18 virtuals, I think is fairly, I don't want to say safe, but a fairly decent base case at the very most, right? I drank 10 Red Bulls, I'm uber bullish, is like $25. My super low, hey, I'm being very careful, is like $8. My base is 12 to 18. And I know that's a pretty big range, but, and not only that, but the ecosystem. These new launches are coming in. You're buying in at 100K market cap, and they're launching at 1 million, 1.5. There's one that went to 20. So we're talking about almost a 200X. And all you got to do is be part of the ecosystem, stake their agent tokens, stake virtuals or YAP. You do that, it benefits the virtual token, it benefits the OG agent tokens, and it benefits you because you'll be able to get in. You'll essentially become the sniper of traditional launches like Pump.Fun. You will be in that position. And so I'm uber bullish on Virtuals Protocol. Sorry, I know I went off on a tangent, but go ahead.
All right. We're back. So you got some other...
There's few things that I can sit here and continue to yap like you usually do on literally everything, and Virtuals is one of them. Oh, thank you.
All right, so there are... So if you look at the biggest gainers here, there are a couple similarities here. You got Virtuals, which is essentially a play or downstream play off of Ethereum. Ethereum's ecosystem is doing pretty well. ETH in itself is up 8%, right around that $2,700 range. It's up 7% on the day, 8% on the week. But you also got ETH name service here. You got Lido. You got, and then these are in the top 10 for gainers as well. Also, you got Injective Protocol, which is a play on ETH in a sense. You also have Curve DAO, which, with stable coins, majority of that going through the ETH network, Arbitrum. So we're seeing a lot of ETH friendly projects here or in the ecosystem. So will this trend continue? Will we see more users get onto ETH? I've
Would it crush your soul if we did, Robin?
Not at all. I'm just not buying ETH right now. I mentioned, I was like, hey, you know what? If you want a position on ETH, there was an opportunity, a buy spot, and that was more or less around when it was under $2,000. I still don't feel confident against Bitcoin. Will it outperform Bitcoin? Absolutely. In certain time windows. I'm just not sure when that's going to happen.
But Rob, can't we say that about everything?
Yes, but I think that ETH is also changing, the changing of the guard. ETH was the number one dominant layer one. Now that is shifting. Now, when you compare against Bitcoin, like here's the thing, like if I want to play on RWAs, I'm gonna attack that. I'm gonna spearhead that as far as who's the leader in that one. I'm gonna do the same for gaming. Now, I'm just not sure if ETH is the dominant layer one anymore. I think that it's getting supplanted. Solana, it's taking over, bro. Solana is the winner right now, right? It might not be at the top of the list right now at this moment, but where Solana was last cycle through the bear market, it's taken a lot away from Ethereum.
I'd argue Base, man. Base is exploding. And again, the benefit to ETH is Base doesn't have their own token, so they use ETH as a gas fee, which obviously benefits Ethereum. Yeah. What else you got?
That's more or less it. What's down today? You got Monero, Pi, and then Gate token. So not much. It's a good day for the portfolio. Even Monero is still up 12% on the week. So it's looking good, man. If you're holding crypto, you're probably in good spirits today. And come down, get a ticket last minute. Get that red eye to Las Vegas. Come hang out with us. So there you go.
Don't get pink eye. Get red eye. Now, before we move forward,
Then they want me to be quiet.
I do want to give a big thank you to today's channel sponsor. Well, today's show is brought to you by Doppler Finance, the first XRP-Fi protocol that allows you to earn yield opportunities by depositing your XRP. They got the first mover advantage. You can earn up to 3.5 to 4.5% APY. Also, they have institutional grade custody and on-chain earning. You can do all that. Visit Doppler.finance. That link is in the description of this video. And big thank you to them for sponsoring today's show. We're actually going to be bringing on their founder. We obviously, any sponsor we bring on, I meet with them face to face. And these guys are great. They're OGs in the space. And we're excited to bring them on and kind of share more about, especially for all you XRP fans. We talk about Bitcoin DeFi and unlocking all that money. Let's talk about XRP. I mean, we're talking about a massive ecosystem with the stable coin, everything else they're doing. It makes complete sense. So big thanks to Doppler for sponsoring today's show. Now, Rob, you did a poll, right? ones and twos, percentage of altcoins, Bitcoin. To those people that are watching, they're saying, when the hell is my altcoin portfolio going to 5X? Speak to those people.
Well, I really hope that I really hope you didn't go all in on Ethereum.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. There was zero doubt in my mind. Those words were not going to come out of your mouth. And I should have said it before you did, but I can't.
Yeah. Now, it really depends on what your exposure is. I mean, I'm sure everyone's, I know everyone's crypto portfolio here is made up of different assets. So I'm just kind of curious, if you are properly spread out against different, I would say, sectors, I think is probably the best play, and also mitigating your risk. I would hope that you got some exposure to Bitcoin. Now, I turned my DCA off of Bitcoin. I know I caught a lot of.
Whoa. You never turn your DC off of Bitcoin, dude.
I was going to say, I already know that that's not a popular opinion, but it was the November, I think, was my last BTC buy. And
What are you doing, bro?
I've already told you this like 3 times.
Okay, we're going to talk after the show. This is ridiculous.
So I've already told you like 3 times. Anyways, I have historically and repeatedly bought Bitcoin. However, the last cycle and this cycle, last cycle worked beautifully. I bought a lot of altcoins I would have spent money on BTC with, but what is wrong with y'all?
Ashley's over here. I can't tell if she's throwing up gang signs or doing like baseball signals,
I'm making fun of him.
We're
He's
both
talking with
making
his
fun of you.
hands.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I'm talking with my hands here. Okay.
Listen, talking with his hands is great.
Anyways.
You got to do this one.
I'm all in on altcoins. And I know our chat here has got a big exposure to altcoins. And so, you know what? The time is here. I hope you're layered into the projects with big communities. I'll just leave it at that. I think the ones that have the big communities, the Caspa, the Hedera's, XRP, Cardano, I think are all great plays. Ones that are kind of fading, Theta, Filecoin, Polkadot, things that we don't see the community buzzing about them.
What do you mean Polkadot's not
Litecoin.
fading? Polkadot just again changed the logo on CoinMarketCap. They're not fading.
Did they change it again?
No, but I wouldn't be surprised. Ashley, we had a couple super chats. Do you mind telling us what our community would like us to know?
Somebody else in the chat said that you guys are ashamed of me because you don't show me enough. Are y'all ashamed? What's going on?
Yeah, Ashley, that's why we invite you to sit in on the chair and be on the show with us. Yeah, we're totally ashamed, yeah.
Damn it.
The answer is no.
Oh, okay. I don't know where the super chats went. I can't find them.
Rocco, can you pull up fan funding so our friend Ashley can go ahead and read this? I thought I saw a couple in there. There we go.
Well, we have Ashley who said she's hungry. That's pretty crazy.
You super chatted
yourself
what is
with money that was okay for lunch.
You can just throw
Exactly.
you just throw $5 at the
No,
desk.
she could have kept it for her own lunch. But anyways, thanks. We appreciate it, I guess.
Robin, you can read the one from Muhammad.
Yeah, what did he say? David is one shade away from looking like a monk. So there you go.
Hey,
Keep reading.
Hey, read about yourself
Reading,
too.
yeah.
Rob looks very handsome today.
Rob looks like a Jehovah's Witness getting ready to come to your house uninvited.
Such an idiot.
Are you prepared for the return of Satoshi?
Muhammad, yeah. Do you have a minute to speak about our Lord and Savior, Satoshi Nakamoto? Okay, let's talk about this. This is massive news. Oh, you know what? Actually, real quick, let me go ahead and I did a Q&A. Let's answer. There was an alt question in here. Here we go. From Keith Bosher. He said, what do you think about Polygon right now? Almost at all-time lows. Is it a dead project?
I don't know about dead, but it's not anything I'm touching. And you know what? If you're
touch a lot. You touch a lot. So
very,
you say,
very handsy. Yes. Where is Polygon on the market cap list?
Keep going.
Number 44. And
Wow,
so
that's
this
actually higher than I thought.
This is something that was previously right around the top 10. I don't know if it cracked into the top 10. I know it was like number 11 or 12. Look at the all-time chart on this. It's just hasn't bounced at all. You look at, okay, so the all-time chart here, you go back, You know what? Why is the all-time not going?
Robin,
back
you want to see?
2021? Oh, that's because they. Okay, so can you pull up a chart? Market cap, coin market cap doesn't go back,
Robin,
prior to 20.
This is Polygon against Bitcoin.
Yeah,
I mean, it can't even.
I'm realistically not trying to be funny, but I think that over time, this is what Ethereum is going to do against Bitcoin, just not as dramatic. And I'm not trying to like be like hee hee ha ha. I genuinely think that this is what you're going to get out of ETH over, I would say, the next 10 years, just as users start to leave Ethereum and Bitcoin keeps growing in market cap. I've lost confidence in Polygon. They're not making headlines. They're not making partnerships. People are not utilizing the Polygon network. There's a lot of other scaling solutions that Ethereum has, and Polygon in itself isn't even a scaling solution. It's just an ETH layer 2. And so the programming language is the same. It's easy to launch a dApp that's already on Ethereum, on Polygon. Polygon leverages the security of Ethereum, but it's not a scaling solution. So if you're in a world where you're like, hey, ETH is just not fast enough, the transactions are too slow, or the fees are too high, your go-to there would just be a scaling solution like Optimism or Arbitrum. And so to move over to Polygon just seems archaic at this point. And so that's why I can't get behind it, man.
Yeah, I sold the majority of my Polygon, some of it at a loss. I think I'm 50-50 on what I sold for a loss versus profit. And I kept a little bit, but it's super underwater. I think
this is going to keep dropping.
I think my average price is like 72 cents. And so obviously 23 cents. Honestly, Keith, I think it was Keith, right? His name was Keith that asked. Keith, obviously, it's your money. You do whatever you want, man. If you feel like their roadmap and their partnerships are enough for you to be bullish and hold, great. Me personally, I would not. I think you're going to miss out on a lot of gains. Other altcoins that can look at virtuals. Look at virtuals. In what'd you say? 3 days?
Yeah.
2.5x.
Okay, here's the thing. If you believe in ETH ecosystem, scalable side chain / whatever it is, right at the same market cap level, take a look at this. You got Polygon here. You can just flip your position from Polygon to Arbitrum. Don't you agree that it's just which one outperforms, Arbitrum or Polygon from this point forward?
Honestly, probably Polygon, dude.
You think so? Over Arbitrum?
I mean, you look at price action and
well, I mean, from a use case perspective, now both of them are down. I just think that if one's gonna have a bounce back, I think it's more likely to be Arbitrum, because it is something that people are using, versus Polygon, which is, I think people are just speculating and hoping that the price bounces back. Nobody's using the Polygon network anymore. Arbitrum has a real use case here.
Well, but here's the thing: if retail comes in, then I think Polygon could outperform. If they don't, and it's more
you think retail's going to come in and use the Polygon network?
No, but I think they'll buy it to speculate on it. That's what they do.
Yeah,
retail doesn't go in a Coinbase and say, "Oh, look, a coin at 23 cents."
Okay, why is Virtuous Protocol pumping?
Because people are using it.
Okay, exactly. And so if nobody's using Polygon,
but Robin, you're making my point. Retail's not here, right? And so the only reason these coins are pumping is because people are using them. When retail comes in, they don't buy coins because they use them. They buy coins to speculate. I'm saying, so if it's a speculative flow of money, yes. If it's not, it's going to be more of the same.
So you think that as retail comes in, as people come in to buy crypto, that utility goes out of the window?
No, it doesn't go out of the window. It obviously
it stacks on top of it, magnifies. So I think the projects that retail is going to be attracted to is the ones that everyone's talking about. So the people that are really bullish on crypto, just like NFTs, right? Not everybody came in and bought NFTs, but a lot of people came in and bought Ethereum. Yeah. A lot of people came in, and it wasn't because they wanted exposure to the NFTs. It was because the underlying community was using it. And so if the underlying community isn't using Polygon, Polygon's not going to ever pump. It's never going to get that speculative pump because nobody's using it. So when people come in and like, hey, what's the trending coin? They go to their friend that is a crypto savvy degen, been in it forever. Like, hey, what should I buy? Eddie's a great example. Eddie comes around, he has a crypto portfolio. As soon as crypto starts pumping, my phone starts getting hit up.
You too? Me
Yeah,
too.
yeah, exactly. Eddie's like, what should I buy? And then whatever we're the most bullish on,
What'd you tell
whatever we're using, whatever the utility is at that moment is probably what we're going to tell them. And the same happens when the rest of retail comes in. So when all of a sudden your cousins and uncles or whatever it is, they're like, hey, what crypto should I buy? You're going to tell them whatever people are using.
That's not true.
And nobody's going to be
That's
using
not true.
Polygon.
I do have one cousin I don't like, and so for him, I'll tell him to buy Polygon.
Okay. And yeah, I mean, Arbitrum, it's not a sexy play. I'm just saying that if I had to pick one, Arbitrum at least has users. Polygon doesn't. And
Where's I'm curious. Where's Optimism? OP. Is that a higher market cap than Polygon and Arbitrum? Or is it lower?
it's lower. It's at 60.
I'd rather go with OP. They got the
Okay.
super chain.
Cool. Go with
So,
OP.
yeah.
Either way, it's the same. It's the same principle, right? Arbitrum's.
What? Eddie's here.
Eddie said, "Really, bro? Yeah, bro."
Eddie, I love you, dog. My bad, man.
Hey, you know what? Eddie said he was gonna come by and visit the studio. You pinky promised me.
You know
You
what?
pinky promised me. You
Listen,
never showed up.
At
Cut
least,
off his damn pinky.
hold on. At least Eddie will watch our show and then ask us what we think.
That's
I
the
get
point.
I get people that are like, what should I buy? My first question is, do you watch my show? If the answer is no, then I tell them Bitcoin. If you do watch our show, I know you can invest an hour a day to get information. Then I'll give you some.
But we do give Eddie straight alpha though.
Yeah. Eddie, I told Eddie about BitTensor at like $280.
He said he bought some
How's that working out for you, Big Eddie? I know me and Eddie lost a lot of money
on
NFTs
NFTs,
together.
bro. I watched y'all go to the NFT trenches, and you
Eddie, I'm
did
sorry,
not
man.
come out of the trenches either.
I'm trying to, we did not. We're stuck there. Quicksand, mud. Eddie, I'm sorry for the NFTs. I'm trying to make it up to you with the other stuff here, okay,
Pinky
my
promised
friend?
me, Eddie. Pinky promised me.
Huh, okay.
Go back on that one.
Now, what were we talking about? Oh, let's talk about Trump. Right? We can't go a show without talking about Trump and well, his kids and the business and stuff. Trump Media announces $2.5 billion Bitcoin treasury to be created from stock sales. This was featured on CNBC. Now, it's funny, right, Rob? Every time we talk about, oh, this company, GameStop, they're going to buy Bitcoin, shoots up. Metaplanet's going to buy Bitcoin, shoots up. Genius AI, they're going to start buying Bitcoin, shoots up. The Trump Media stock actually fell 10%. After they're saying they're going to raise $2.5 billion to buy Bitcoin. The raise includes $1.5 billion in equity and $1 billion in convertible notes, with Bitcoin custody provided by Anchorage Digital. And what's that other one, Robin?
21 Capital? No. Oh, crypto.com. Sorry.
Remember that meeting they had with Chris Marsazlik, the CEO of Crypto.com?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Crypto.com. I'm surprised their Crow token did not rally. I was going to, or as soon as I saw this news break, first thing I did, check the Crow price, barely moved at all. It's at 2% up right now, and so
Do you think it's more of a Trump thing where people are kind of getting what's that word I'm looking for, like Trump exhaustion? Yeah, or do you think it's just that token's not really trading with the news of the platform? Because if that's the case, I think both of our thesis for Crow token is crypto.com, correct? Right?
I would say yes.
Okay, because there's really no
the
ecosystem.
as the exchange grows. Yeah.
Okay, there's no really ecosystem.
No.
Okay.
Could there be perhaps could it be something similar to like Base? I think it has a potential. It needs some time. But I mean,
But Base doesn't have a token. You know what I'm saying? So it's
I
hard
know
to
that's
measure.
that's even more the case. Here you have a protocol, a Kronos chain, which also has a token. Which, so I don't know. I mean, perhaps they have. You could say an advantage against Coinbase on the Base chain because they have their own token, and I don't know. I still am very, very bullish on Kronos. So
Okay, cool.
very bullish. I'm expecting a big breakout on that one.
I'm expecting, look at this. Well, I'm not expecting, but I'm sharing. Cantor Fitzgerald, who is headed up by none other than Howard Lutnick, the Secretary of Commerce, officially launches $2 billion Bitcoin-backed lending with first loans. This is going to be something else. Hey, you got Bitcoin, you don't want to sell it, put it up as collateral, we'll give you the funds. Be careful, though. Be very, very careful. Got to read the fine print, and don't lose your Bitcoin for a short-term loan. But it's an option. If you're in a bind, God forbid, I don't know, you got Bitcoin, you don't want to sell it, there's going to be options. There's going to be more. And as more companies come forward with these type products, the rates will get better, the terms of service will get better, everything will get better. And so we're in the very beginning stages, and as this thing grows, it's going to be pretty awesome. And then big news here, Circle officially files for an IPO on the New York Stock Exchange. Their ticker will be Circle, CRCL. You know, I had a guy in my high school class, his name was Circle, CYRKIEL.
That's real?
Yes.
Okay.
It's very real. Very strange guy.
We get a round of applause for
Circle.
the graduating class that that David.
But who cares?
Wow, Rocco. Wow.
Yeah.
Who cares? Wow, that was rough.
Any other friend that have a weird
It was
name?
messed up, bro.
I had a friend, his name is Bitcoin with a BETACH.
I didn't know you grew up in Japan, Rocco. That's interesting.
I don't know. You have a weird friend. I don't know.
So their ticker will be Circle. They're offering 24 million Class A shares, and shares are expected to open between $24 to $26, which gives the company valuation when it goes public $5 to $6 billion, which is what Ripple was trying to pay them. Now it seems like, and to my knowledge, currently, is it Coinbase and Ripple, right, are in a bidding war to buy Circle? It's Ripple and I think
Yeah, Ripple and Coinbase.
Coinbase,
And the last offer was $11 billion. That's
$11 billion.
Speculation, yeah.
And so obviously that's 2x what they're gonna freaking, IPO at. But still, this is massive, right? It'll be what, the second publicly traded crypto native company? I probably am wrong on that one, but yeah, you have I don't think you could call Robinhood. MicroStrategy, no. You obviously have Coinbase. Right? That pretty much am I missing one?
You have the miners. I mean,
Okay, Bitcoin like Riot.
there's a lot of I think there's
Marathon,
like 12 different publicly
Clean
traded miners.
Spark. Yeah.
So there are companies by extension, and so I don't know. This is huge though. I think from an investment standpoint, I might be at one of the best places. I remember when MicroStrategy. Well, first of all, when Coinbase stock got listed, what is their stock price now compared to when?
Should be over $100.
When it came out, it was 350, something like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I know it was
Never mind.
overvalued initially. I don't know if it ever made it back, but
It ran up to like $400 or $500. Where's it at now?
I
Coin.
don't know why it's not. There it is. Yeah. So all time.
$70.
Yeah, it came out as nasty valuation. So 250. It finally made it back, and so. But you look at MicroStrategy though, and so MSTR, here you go. So you look at MicroStrategy stock for this one, when they started buying Bitcoin, you can see here, publicly traded company from $40 up to $360. Even earlier this year. Okay, so prior to their first Bitcoin buy, they were at $15. Throughout the entirety of the bear market, it was under $50. Now it's over $300. I'm thinking you could probably see the similar price action out of Circle because of the demand for stablecoins and the U.S. passing the strategic bill, stablecoin bill or passing a stablecoin bill. What do you think the stock move would be for Circle? You think that it's
Like from a retail, from like me and you standpoint?
like buying it and just holding it?
I mean,
stablecoins are going to keep
Robin,
growing, right?
how long did it take Coinbase to get into the S&P 500?
Wow.
3-4 years? I think Circle can do it.
I don't know when they when
Robin,
they were trying to.
They
get
are
it.
literally a money printing company.
Yeah.
No overhead. You look at Tether's revenue, and I know Tether is 4x the size of Circle. But you look at their revenue, 2 to 5 billion. I think it's every quarter. And bottom line revenue, guys, that is massive. With less than 100 employees, you do not see that. And now a company like that, at a much smaller scale, is going public. Now that they're going to go public, though, I think a lot more people feel comfortable going with USDC than Tether. Not saying anything's wrong with Tether, but just like, hey, use Coinbase because they're a publicly traded company, yada, 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 yada. They're overseen by the SEC. Same thing. Use Circle. They're a publicly traded company. They're overseen by the Securities and Exchange Commission. They have certain strict rules, regulations, reporting requirements versus Tether, who's got a black spot, black stain on their reputation from years ago.
Let me ask you, if perp trading becomes legal here in the U.S. and all of a sudden trading and U.S. customers explode, which is something that we think is happening or is around the corner, don't you think that the go-to stablecoin for these exchanges essentially is going to default over to Circle, and that the market cap of Circle is gonna 10x from where it is now, as far as it's just market cap on crypto's market cap? A market cap list right now is $60 billion. You look at Tether,
60 billion.
Yeah, you look at Tether, it's at 150. So even a solid 2x away from Tether. I could see this 10xing. I could see a $500 million USDC market cap there. Also, you take their stock. I think that's going to be a leverage play against the market cap move here. And so,
it is directly tied. You can't make money buying dollar Circle stablecoin. You can't make money buying their stock, though.
And so I think if you get a 10x out of the market cap of Circle, you'll probably get a 20, 30x out of the stock over time. I don't think you'll get anything that dramatic in the
that's
short
a big
term.
move, but
you saw MicroStrategy just went from $30 to $300. That's 10x. And you can argue that stable coins outside of Bitcoin are going to be the biggest plays in crypto. Don't you agree? Tether's number 3 for a reason. Likely be number 2 at some point.
I'm saying, dude, they're literally money printer.
Yeah.
Hey guys, quick question. Maybe I'm confused, but if Circle can go public, it does automatically, if it has a price influence, become a security?
Well, the stock itself is a security.
But
and so you're investing in the company.
But they're now influencing the, I know they spec to $1, but they can kind of speculate on that. I don't know. I know it's a stable coin, but I don't know.
It's just how much money the company is worth. And so they keep printing money. They generate, so the way these stable
Bitcoin mining companies, right? Yeah. Their product is a commodity, but they're a security because their company.
And you got to think the reason these stablecoin companies are so profitable and why they make so much money is that they take your dollars and they're not just holding it in a bank account. They take 90-day T-bills, the treasury bonds. They take 90-day bonds and they park your money. So that $60 billion, probably $40 billion is tied up in bonds with what's the yield right now on a 90-day T-bill? Like
3 to 4%?
Yeah, 3 to 4%. So, every year annualized, they're making 3 to 4% on $60 billion.
On top of the fee they charge.
On top of the fees, exactly. So it's an extremely lucrative business. I remember, I don't know where they are now, Tether, at $150 billion in market cap, the company itself was less than 40 people.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're at right now.
It's insane. It's insane.
40 people running a company with a market cap of 150. So from a revenue standpoint, you can have an office building with 5,000 square feet, a bunch of computers, and
multi-trillion-dollar
company. Be a $1 trillion company here in 5 years, publicly traded. Obviously, publicly traded US-based company. I would expect Circle to be a lot larger just for compliance stakes. So they'll probably have a few hundred, if not a few thousand employees, but it's still going to be very lucrative and profitable. And so investing in the company itself, they just print money, dude. They just print money. That's all they do. It's private. It's a private money printer.
I heard it's a good business
investment
model.
Standpoint, it's probably one of the easiest bets. I would probably wait to see where Circle's price would land. If something like Coinbase happens where it's overvalued off the rip, maybe give it a month.
But Rob, I don't think it's overvalued because there's a bidding war and it's sitting at $11 billion. And if they're only launching at a 5 to 6 billion market cap, that's 2x evaluation of where they're launching versus what offers they're getting. So I think that's going to make the stock price go up.
You could have made the same argument behind Coinbase, and that one.
But no one was trying to buy him and bidding the price up. And so I agree.
There people were. I mean, there was a lot of people asking me about Coinbase, and the reason
buying Coinbase like a company wants to buy the Coinbase, the company, just like Coinbase and Ripple are trying to buy Circle. I'm saying that wasn't happening when Coinbase was going public. There weren't public deals on the table to buy Coinbase. And so, but yeah, usually though, it'll go up and then you'll see a sharp decline. So yeah. Anyways, that'll do it for the show today. I want to say a big thank you to our production team, Rocco and Antoine. Thank you guys very much. Also, a big thank you to Ashley for the $5 super chat. Also for saying she's very hungry. Also for everything else she does. She's amazing.
Is it lunchtime now?
No. And that's all I got. With that being said, Rocco, thank you all so much for tuning in. We appreciate every single one of you. Make sure to come back here tomorrow, same place, same time. We're heading over to the conference, so if you're in town, you run into us, say hello. We'd love to meet you. Until then, guys.
SINCITY Crypto. Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I split the game, but they gave it. Name the coin that's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming, hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya.